it's just a daily reminder, like having it on my body just to like, come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest. And it's just nice to have that small reminder where even no matter where you are, you can just think about that and give it to the Lord and have everything be processed and just take it off your shoulders and give it to Him.
Created on purpose and for purpose.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Daron Earlewine podcast. And now the Earlewine podcast, we have actually figured this out. I think we're all on camera together. We've never done a podcast like this before. We'll see how this goes. We may never do one again. We're all over the country and not in the same space. Julie, I, and Knox are here in our house in Fishers, Indiana. Cole, where are you joining us from?
The beautiful city of Muncie, Indiana.
A high quality establishment.
Ty, where are you at?
I am in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona. So that's a huge change from Muncie. No hate on Muncie, but
Ty wins tonight for best location.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it is hot, though.
It is hot. What was it today, Ty?
It was 100 today. It's 101 tomorrow, 103 the next day, and then our first day under 95 of the school year on Thursday. So it's gonna be 91. I'm very excited.
I bet you are.
Sweatpants.
I bet you are.
I'm excited.
Maybe some shorts and a hoodie.
Yeah. It's been very warm here. I like it though. It's nice. The cold.
If I have to keep looking behind me, it's because I'm making sure our new dog Reggie is not chewing up my office, so he's in the background back here.
You should introduce him to everyone.
Oh, Reggie.
Yeah, introduce him to me. I haven't even met him yet, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a part of the podcast.
Hi, we traded you in for Reggie.
I know. Hi, Reggie. Nice to see
guys.
you. Another screen.
He's licking.
Give us a Theo mention.
Yeah, bro. Where's the goat at? Where's our real dog?
I don't know where he is. I think he's asleep in his chair.
Yeah, he's in his old man chair. I have a fake tree in my office back here, and Reggie just ate all the fake dirt and moss out of it, so that's why he's. Anyway, all right, Reg. Hi, everybody. I got to go. Sit in this chair. Play with the toy. All right, so we released all the episodes of each one of your interviews, and I just want to say how awesome I think you guys all did. I love the conversation. I know Mom loved it, and I thought maybe this would be a well-received podcast series. We've been blown away by the comments, the downloads, the calls and text messages Mom and I have gotten. And so just to encourage you guys, your humility, your vulnerability on the podcast was really encouraging to a lot of people. And so I can't say thank you guys enough for being a part of that and being willing to do this. And I can't say thanks enough for you guys making the time, because I know, Cole, you got stuck in Connecticut on Saturday night, and now you're way behind on all your homework and all the stuff for football. And Ty, you're a 3-hour time difference from us. Knox should be going to bed here pretty soon. And Mom and I have been chasing a puppy for 2 weeks. So we're all kind of trying to catch up. But here's how I want to start it. So no shame in this, in the answer to this. But my question is, did any of the three of you watch any of each other's episodes?
I watched my own. I was supposed to get the Coles this week, and then I had a bio quiz, and I just got swamped. So
I watched my own too, but neither record.
Yeah, I'm planning on watching them though, for sure.
I'll watch them.
If I'm being so honest with you, Dad, I don't think I've ever watched one of your podcasts ever.
I haven't. Other than my own, I haven't. Which is horrible.
I didn't even watch my own. I'm sorry.
Right on. Jules, did you watch the boys' podcast?
I've watched a half of all of them.
A half of all.
I've watched the half of each of them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because they're in splits. Yeah.
2 parts. Yes. So then this.
But I was there for them, so
That's
I guess
true.
that's a little bit. I was present in all of them, so like maybe I.
When they were
Yeah,
live. Okay, so then different question, Knox and Ty, since you watched your own, what was your take on watching it back?
Knox, you want to go with me?
Go ahead, Knox.
I thought I did a pretty good job.
Did you? Shocker.
Shocking. You did a good job, Knox. You should be proud.
Thanks, Mom.
What was kind of the most encouraging thing, I guess, Knox, after you watched it, or maybe have you gotten feedback from friends or anything?
Not really, but I mean, I just thought. I mean, I've heard like stuff from you guys, other people saying that I did a pretty good job, and I just, yeah, I was kind of glad how it turned out.
Ty, what was your take on watching yours?
I thought like I just went back and looked or like watched it just because I didn't fully remember all we talked about. Like I remember like the main things, but just came straight home from work that day, so I just kind of like sat down and got going. So I just wanted to go back and listen to it, and then I had a couple of my friends from back home that watched it and said that they really enjoyed it. And then I had more people actually text me just about like the Instagram reels that were put
Yeah.
out on your Instagram about like the certain clips of what I talked about, and had some good conversations with people that I hadn't talked to in a little while. Just thanking me and just getting to talk to them about how they're doing with me being as far as I am from my community back home. But it was cool to have that opportunity to talk to everybody, just even for like a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it. But mostly just some texts of like, hey, I listened to the podcast. It was super cool you were talking about, and then just some other people being like, why were you on the podcast? So very different. I had like 4 people text me like, is this actually you? I was like, yes, it's not AI, it's me. People were like, what are you doing? I was like, my dad asked me to do it. It was a podcast. So, but yeah, it was pretty chill. It was cool to actually be a part of something your dad does. Because I mean, we did the radio show, but nothing like that really.
Yeah. Cole, did you ever get anybody reach out to you like from the reels and stuff?
I actually got like a lot of people message me or people that have watched it. Shout out my guy Joe Berglund. He texted me. He watched it from back in the day. So shout out Joe Berglund. He's had some awesome stuff. So his words meant a lot. And a lot of guys, a lot of my friends from back home followed along. Some of my closest friends watched just because like they know us and they care about our family. My roommates here, and then just other adults and people like that. So yeah, I got a good amount of messages. It just was glad it could impact people wherever they're at.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was really interesting, guys, watching it back was every one of you, things that you talked about in the podcast have been things that you actually, have walked through since we talked, which I thought was interesting because I thought listening to yours, Cole, listening to yours, Ty, and listening to yours, Knox, I thought it was a part where I thought you guys could actually, almost listen to your own advice from some of the stuff you're going through, because we talked this summer, right? Since that happened, Cole, you went back to college. You're a couple weeks into the football season. You're a couple weeks into your junior / senior year at Ball State. Ty, we moved you all the way to freaking Arizona. I want to talk a little bit about the transition, kind of, comparing what you were thinking and kind of how that has been. And then Knox, you've turned 15 since we recorded. You started high school. You're a couple weeks in. You're starting to get into the rhythm of it. So just give us a little update as compared to some of the stuff we talked about, and how has the start of the year been? Ups, downs, positive, negatives, whatever, as we just kind of check in. So Cole, into another year of football, staying healthy, another year of you're not staying
Sort
healthy.
of.
Not really.
I mean,
Piecing
his
himself
hand has
together.
been broken.
Well, I'm saying, I guess you hadn't broken your hand when we did the.
No.
Oh,
Airball.
okay, that's true. You hadn't
Yeah,
broken your
sorry.
hand yet. I guess I'm
Edit-
thinking right
edit
now
that out.
you're back to almost being healthy. So give us an update, Cole. You had these expectations, thinking you're going in. What's it been like since we recorded the podcast?
I mean, I recorded the podcast before I went back to school, so that was before fall camp. If there's any former collegiate football players watching, they know how horrible fall camp is. It's probably the worst 3 weeks of my year every year. So, to say the least, it was really tough. My faith was definitely tested a lot during that. I think there's just been a lot of difficulty of not necessarily getting what I wanted, and not necessarily been given the opportunities I thought I maybe earned. But I also was coming off of a hamstring injury, so like I had to fight back through that. So there's a lot of kind of fear of getting injured again. And then about 2 weeks into camp, I was making a tackle and got my hand smashed in between some helmets and broke my hand. So that kind of created a lot of challenges in the football world. But I think the biggest thing is just finding a lot of peace in that struggle, and just, relying on Christ in that sense of my life. But yeah, I broke my hand, which is tough. I thought, maybe I'd get a chance to compete a little bit to play some special teams against Purdue. And that was obviously a big goal being from Indiana. So when I still traveled, did the experience and everything, but didn't play. And so that was disappointing. Played a single snap at Auburn, which was cool to say at least I could do it. Obviously not what I wanted, but I think for me it's just the process of staying the course. Week 3 I got on one unit. This week at Connecticut I played on 2 special teams units. I changed my position from safety to outside linebacker. So that transition was new. I kind of been praying for a sense of knowing where to go in my career. I didn't know if that meant continue to play football or possibly looking at some other options and things of that nature. Obviously, I'm not going to do those now, and I'm happy here. But it's just like that sense of having to make some changes and listen to where God placed you. So, new position. I'm starting to play a little bit more. I got my hand cleared today, so that's pretty awesome. The fact that my hand is no longer broken. So yeah, I mean, it definitely was a tough. I guess it would have been now 2 months, basically to the 2 right now. So 2 months were tough, but I think like for me, like your spirit doesn't grow at the top of a mountain; it grows in the soil on the bottom of in the garden. So I think that's a big thing. Is you're not just gonna arise at the top, but you're gonna be kind of the slow incline to the top. So I've just been trying to take it day by day, and just kind of really find out where Christ has put me, and really diving into the idea of the scripture of just seek first the kingdom of God, and just putting Him first, and filling my weeks with Bible studies and time of word myself. And I'm hoping to get back to church sometime soon. I've been gone so much on the road, we haven't been able to. So trying to get back into that, but I'm all right. I mean, I think it's just the thick of the season. But it goes quick. I mean, we're already at week 4, heading into conference play, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, I mean, it's the same old challenges as usual. I think it's just asking yourself what God is trying to teach you in those challenges. That has been the biggest thing for me. But yeah, I mean, I'd say I'm definitely on the come up, and just trying to do my part and play my role and just serve others the way that I can, because that's really the only true thing that brings joy, is the serving of other people and just being about the team. So I'm hoping we can make a run in the conference and make Team 101 something unforgettable.
Yeah, dude, I was listening to a podcast on Sunday when I was flying back from UConn, and it's actually Erwin McManus' sermon from 2 weeks ago about trials and temptations. And I was thinking about you because he makes the point, kind of like what you were just saying, is that sometimes, we go through trials and it's like, oh, God must not be with me, or things are going bad. But he used that, the scripture from James that, consider it pure joy, brothers, when you face trials, because the idea of that these things are creating perseverance and confidence, character, hope. And that so often when we get into a trial, it's like God's turned his back on me. But, his challenge was to turn that perspective of saying, man, what's God actually inviting me into? How's he helping me level up? You know what I mean? So I thought about you in that one. Might be a cool resource to take a look at.
Yeah, I think with that, a big verse that I love, I was in the book of First Peter a couple weeks ago, and I love that book. Just I think it really relates in. It's First Peter 5:10, and it talks about, after you suffered for a little while, he will restore, support, and strengthen you, and will place you on a firm foundation. And I think that's just like, I wrote that down right before camp, and just getting in that with our small group, and just reminding ourselves that, like, there's gonna, like, God promises trials, he promises tribulations, but he also promises peace and joy through those tribulations. So I think it's just understanding that, and when you understand the scripture, when those trials and tribulations approach you, they don't make them any less difficult, but they do make them conquerable. And because you have the armor of God being placed on you each and every day, like it says in Ephesians 6. So yeah, I think that's a big thing, and just you're going to overcome because, like, you serve a God that sent his son to overcome sin on a cross. So I think you just remind yourself that daily, and it gives you hope to keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Anybody got a follow-up question for Cole before we go to Ty?
I mean, I've I mean, Cole and me called the other day, just for like the first time, kind of since I had fully moved in here, um, and just like I know not really like a question, but just like a good conversation between me and him, like just having like the ability like we have right now, just to call when I am so far away from home, and he just called me and we just kind of talked about how things were and everything, and he just like prayed for me before we ended the call, and it was just like super helpful, just because like I am out here alone. I have a good set of friends out here that I've made, and obviously Nate, living with him, and then Jackson has just been great. Um, but just like sometimes you get in your own head about certain things when you don't have like your immediate comfort near you. So it was good to hear Cole and to talk to him. So um, I can definitely see just the way his emotions are trending up from even before I left, of just like him not knowing if this was the right thing for him and what the next step was going to be. But after that phone call, I definitely could see like his um, kind of life turning around in a good way, just kind of getting back on his feet. And then I talked to him that day. He might remember, so it was like a small thing, but I just remembered it. He talked to me and he was like, yeah, like, because I remember him saying that he was so frustrated about not playing at Purdue. And then I told him he made one unit. And then the next morning I wake up to him texting us that he's on another unit, and just like really just keep pushing for him. And it's just been good. It's been fun to see that. And then like obviously tuning in on Saturdays to see some of the games to see if he's in and just different stuff. So just kind of my thought on it all. Not really a question, but just like I guess
Yeah.
a shout out for Cole for like reaching out and then just keeping his head down and working all the time. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Ty, you made the transition. We had, high hopes, but not knowing what it would be, not knowing what is going to look like. And so give us an update, man. Brand new, what, Jules?
Knox, are you about to fall asleep, bro?
He in his own
You
world.
struggling? Somebody needs to see. He's yawning so much we're gonna lose him in a minute.
Sorry, I had to mute him because he keeps playing drums with his fingers and things on the table.
I kept saw his little like the ring pops up when you start talking, and I saw his ring keep popping up.
Yeah, Knox is
Yeah.
right.
I was like, now he's muted.
Yeah, just
No
you're not
worries.
muted now, Knox, but just remember that
Yeah.
what all the sounds you make actually do come through this podcast. Anyway, so Ty, back to you. So big transition. Been amazing, better than you ever could expected, beyond your wildest dreams, or like have there been some days where you're like, get me on an airplane and get me the freak out of here, I'm coming back to Indiana?
I remember talking about on the podcast that like you and Mom had always asked like what I thought I was gonna do when I got out here, just with whatever like what I planned on doing, and I got out here and I like went to all the welcome week stuff, and I got done with welcome week and I was just really riled, like really rattled up. Just I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. It's a bigger school than you expect, even if it's like going to a big high school. Like 22,000 people is way more than 38,000 or 3,800 at HSC, and just all that stuff kind of got me in a loop. And then just like everything with the transition just got tough, just got busy. Trying to meet people that I like really like to be around, and not just like forcing friendships because I don't have anybody out here. So I was just kind of in a weird spot. Went to a worship night in the first week, and then kind of just set it aside for a bit here, trying to figure out myself, and that was just not the right thing to do. Been in my word some. Went to church with Brenna and Jackson 2 weeks ago, and they didn't go this week because Brenna's back in Indiana for the cousin's wedding and all that stuff. And then the last week before that, I was just tired. Had a long week, first like full week of school and everything. But yeah, the transition. I don't think the distance messes me up that much. I don't think I've really had a thought of like I need to get on a plane and fly home right now. Not super like freaking out about the distance or anything. But yeah, I just think like for anywhere, if I was anywhere, it would be the same things. Just figuring out school, figuring out how to study, figuring out how to manage my schooling, my social life, and my spiritual life. Still in the middle of it. I mean, we're going into week 4 here for school, so I'm starting to get my first exams, first quizzes. So just trying to figure out like what strategies from high school with studying worked and what I need to change. But that's just all trial and error. I had a quiz last week, went well. Just I think growing up, taking advanced classes in high school, Those are my friends in the living room that just came through the podcast. The Monday Night Football's on, so that's all my new buddies. But anyway, yeah, this is super like worried first couple weeks. Just really like kind of freaked out by it all. But then I kind of got back on my feet and then started hanging out with the guys you just heard in the background. They're always around. Then having Jackson in a bunch of my classes has been nice. Just getting to be able to like have somebody there to sit by and do homework with and everything. It's been fun. And then there's just stuff to do here. Like last weekend we went to Lake Pleasant, which is like 40 minutes away, and just kind of hung out during the day. And it was cool.
They got a lot of mountains and lakes and stuff in Muncie, or
I haven't left my house besides get on an airplane to go to a game in 3 years.
Is it 65% girls, 35% boys there too, Cole?
No,
I'm not going to speak on that.
Yeah, that's not even in my thought process of that right now. Got to get adjusted here first before I
Cheers.
find somebody. It's also hard, like, find somebody, and it's like, hey, where are you from? And they're like, California, and you're like, that's really far. That's really far. So yeah, just managing.
Very far.
Yeah, just managing like everything.
you're just letting your mom get in your mind like that. She told you couldn't marry somebody from Oregon. Listen, let the Lord lead, guy. Let the Lord lead.
Hey, you know what? Shut your mouth. I gotta know they go to you for a lot of advice, but if you found the woman of your dreams from Oregon, fine. You go be with her. Just bring her here.
It's
All right,
yeah.
we're done about our dating lives. Back on track, Ty. Continue the
back on
conversation.
track, away from the emptiness of that history. There's not much there. But yeah, I just think it's been better these last couple of weeks, or last like week or so.
Was there a time, Ty, or something that happened today, or something where you kind of felt like, okay, I think I'm turning a corner here?
Yeah, I'd say friends wise, it was probably either the Lake Day or the weekend before that. We had just all watched college football, which is nice to have friends that like the similar topics of you, have a commonality with them. And then the Lake Day was cool, like actually getting off campus and getting to go somewhere and just see the area that you live in is cool. And then also like get involved in flag football here. Played 2 games last week. It was a lot of fun. And I already said that I plan on getting involved with that. So I also have like my team that I play with that's not my dorm friends, and it's good to see those guys and get a different picture every once in a while. That's a lot of fun. And then just trying to figure out everything. Like I almost decided to do the whole intramural program and get involved and figure out a way to work that, but I felt like that would have just been a lot on my plate early in my transition, just how I was going through things. So might revisit that with Garrett's connection in the second semester, maybe my sophomore year. But just as of right now, I want to, obviously grades come first, and if I don't have good grades, I can't do anything else. So just trying to figure out how schooling is and everything, and then all the other transitions. I guess I don't really know what else I got between my podcast and moving here, other than like a tattoo maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was about it. It's just been good. It's just a daily reminder, like having it on my body just to like, come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest. And it's just nice to have that small reminder where no matter where you are, you can just think about that and give it to the Lord and have everything be processed and just take it off your shoulders and give it to Him. So it's been tough, but
let's see the tattoos. It healed up well?
Yeah, I don't know. My camera sucks, but you can kind of see.
Looks good.
Yeah, it healed up well. The first weeks were tough though, because the sun here, and then just being busy and just keeping all the aftercare stuff on it. But after those couple weeks, it's been good. So, but yeah, sometimes I forget I have it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I have like a hoodie on in my room, and I like take it off to like put a shirt on because it's 110 degrees here, and I'm like, oh, that's still there, and it's gonna always be there.
Yeah.
But it's a good reminder, and it's been nice.
Backstory, if people don't know, obviously I have a yoke above my head hanging here. I have that same tattoo that Ty has, and that was a major metaphor for my life as far as being yoked with Jesus. It comes from Matthew chapter 11. Very meaningful thing as far as when I felt called to ministry. And so just an amazing moment before Ty went to college, like 48 hours, I think, before we took you to college. Took Ty, and he got that tattoo. And maybe eventually we will all have a yoke tattoo. We're working on those details. So But it's good stuff, Ty. Thanks for the update. Knox, you're in high school. You're 15 years old. You're a Royal. You're at a 4,000 person high school. How's the transition gone?
It's been a lot of fun. I kind of enjoy it. Like I said, I thought I was going to. Football has been a blast, and it's just strengthened my friendships with all my friends, and just kind of just grew my talent as a football player, but also my ability to be a leader. So it's been a lot of fun, and just being able to do the things that I've always dreamed of. But I've been super busy though too, which has been tough. Like
Like going to Zach Bryan concert at Notre Dame, and then 2 weeks later going back to Notre Dame to go to a Notre Dame game. That kind of busy.
Anyways, I'm still reading my Bible, but
didn't even elaborate. He was like, "Yeah, well, it was cool."
Trying to find a homecoming date. I mean, that one's on the plate
Yeah,
too.
come on, bro.
Parenting fail. Also,
He's got one he could ask. He won't do it.
Chill.
He turned his camera off. Now
did you just quit? Oh, he's back.
Chill.
He just quit on us.
Bro, rage quit.
Chill. Whatever. Anyways.
Change topic. It's fine.
I was like starting high school, and just the work ethic in school has been a lot different. Like I've had to study a lot more than I've ever had to, because a lot of my classes are difficult. So it's just different from 8th grade, just showing up to a test, not studying, and just doing whatever I want, but still getting A's on it. It's different than actually having to take time out of my night and study. And I think it's not been easier without Ty, because I've had moments where I miss him, but I just don't really have time to think about it, because I go to school at 8 o'clock and I don't get home till 6:45.
Were you going to say 6 or 7?
I thought you were going to say it, Knox.
Yeah.
No.
You gave yourself your own softball pitch of 6-7.
I mean, you literally could have done it.
Oh, no.
It would have been forever on the podcast.
Yeah, you say it 12 times a day.
6:40. I get home at 6:45 and just have to eat dinner, shower, take care of the dogs. And
I heard you don't take care of the dogs at all.
Single thing with those dogs, bro.
I'm home 3 hours of the day. How there's not much I can do.
Yeah, and then he's got to have
with the dogs.
And he's got to have time to lay on the couch with his blanket. You know what I mean? And on his phone. It's key.
True. Watch a show for the 18th time.
They're really hard on you, aren't they, Knox?
Can't even finish talking.
Exactly.
Anyways, it's just been a lot to deal with, and would go into Cole's game, and my dad said, I went to Zach Bryan and Notre Dame, and I went to a Notre Dame game. I do all that stuff during the week. I practice and do all that stuff, and then being in Blue Crew, I go to the games and get home at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then I go to bed, wake up, play my game, and then I just either gone to Ball State or gone to Notre Dame, and just I haven't really had a Saturday to just chill, and then it's just basically Sunday is my only day to just kind of relax. So it's been kind of tough on my mind and body just to only have one day to decompress. So I'm kind of excited for this weekend to play my game and then just go home and watch college football and maybe hang out with some of my friends at the house. And so just kind of figuring out study habits for high school and just kind of balance all my tough classes has just been pretty difficult, but for the most part, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm just excited for the future to come. But I mean, it's just kind of crazy that we're already in week 8 of school and week 6 of football. So it's just it feels like it's going by so fast.
Yeah. So you would say overarching, just it's been busier and a little bit a bigger workload than you even anticipated it was going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Jules, you got a question for him from their updates?
I don't think so.
Okay. So what's interesting is I think for all of you guys, we talked about this transition into the next year. I mean, for Knox high school, high for you, for college, Cole, back to school and back to football. And I mean, there's been some ups, but I mean, there's definitely been some unexpected lows. I mean, the workload, I mean, for you, for you, Knox, Ty, like just kind of, wow, this is a massive adjustment. I'm really not starting my life over, but I'm having to reestablish a ton of stuff that was like pretty locked in as far as home. And then Cole, for you, it's like, man, I've been working my butt off and trying to do all this. Then it's like hamstring and hand. And it's like, so there's been positives from all of you guys, but there has been some unexpected lows, like right off the bat. So you guys have all talked about it a little bit as far as, faith coming into that. Knox, I know you stayed, we talked about in your podcast, locking in and reading the word every day. You've been staying up on that, locking that in. But and I guess, Cole, you did talk about it a little bit, but I guess here's the question is, where do you think you'd be, or what do you think things would be happening right now in your life with what you've been processing through if you didn't have faith as a compass? You didn't have, the Lord to guide you and to be a kind of true north on that. Cole, what do you think it would look like?
Trouble would find me just as much as I'd find trouble. I think I'm a pretty straight and narrow guy, but I think that's because I am pointed towards like the Spirit of Christ and have been since I was 8 years old. So like I think that's been a big part of it. Realistically, I think like without Christ, like I don't think we would even have the segment on me playing football. I think I probably would have quit and been like, this sucks. Like, why am I getting whatever I wanted? Quit or been like other people, been like, I'm transferring, I'm doing something else, I can't do this. Or realistically, like being truthful, people, I probably would have turned to partying and trying to find validation from other people, whether it's other friends or girls or whatever it is. And like I think when you really start to dive into scripture, like there is a discipline you have to have on being a follower of Christ. And I think when you understand that there's going to be trials and tribulations that are presented, and that you're supposed to be joyous in those times, but also observant and obedient in those times, you then realize that the negative stuff is just like what we think is negative is not always negative to God. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like breaking my hand, like I think this could be like this is going to ruin part of my life, but like for God, like this 6 weeks is a nanosecond of time to Him, but it could serve a purpose that is a million times bigger than what I can imagine. So I think you just like your thoughts become more in depth about who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think my struggles aren't about my situations anymore. Like for me, like one thing that like really hurts is like when I do find myself in like a sin I know I shouldn't have committed, or like I find myself in a cycle of sin. Like last week, I remember like being in my room, like, and like my room gets real dark, so I have like the blackout curtains, and like I was like literally like on my knees, like praying to God, like please, like I can't do this anymore. Like I'm broken and I'm hurting. But it wasn't about football. It wasn't about like my struggles. It was about like my struggle against sin and my struggle against my own body and my own flesh. So I think it just like brings a lot of more spiritual and in-depth thoughts, and it puts everything in perspective. Like the Apostle Paul talks about, like everyone in Philippians 4:13 talks about like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But the context of that is him talking about how he's content in all things that Christ gives him. And when it talks about in Philippians 4, like 14, 15, and 16, like that's what he's actually talking about, his contentment in Christ. And I think when you understand that, like your life becomes content all the time. Like one of my favorite things my buddy Tristan says is like God doesn't promise he doesn't promise happiness, but he promises peace. And like I think for me, like I think my life, if I could describe it, it would just be chaotic. There would not be a lot of peace. There'd be a lot of chaotic and searching for a way to fix problems that were addressed in front of me, instead of just, being like, all right, I know where my anchor is, I know where my foundation is. So I need to get back to focusing on that first, because when you do start to focus on those things first, everything else falls into line. You know what I'm saying? So like when it talks about like, I think it's in Matthew 7, talks about like humble yourself like before the Lord and you'll be exalted. Like, so it's like, I think the big thing for me is just humbling myself and realizing that, you know, like I can't keep living like this. I can't keep doing this. I have to really lay my life down for God to have any sort of fulfillment and to not fall into the cycles of depression and, you know, like anger and lust and disappointment and just like fear. Like, I think it's a big thing. It's like you battle through all those things, but when you understand like that your center is literally the center of you with the Spirit being inside you, it just guides your life in a way that it's almost like hard to describe. Because I was just in Second Corinthians tonight talking about how like unbelievers don't even know when they're doing wrong. Like they have a veil that covers their eyes, like back in the Old Testament with Moses. Like they don't know they do wrong, but because I have the Spirit of God in me, I know when I do wrong. I know when I struggle. I know when these things are not right, because I've been given the Spirit and the discernment and the ability to see the way that God wants me to live. So yeah, I think it's just like the more knowledge you gain and the more experience you have, just the more you realize like, man, like this is the most important thing in my life. And football's going to come and go. Like if I don't take my 5th-year option, I got 8 games left this season and 12 games left. I have 20 football games left in my career and then I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But like for me, like I'm talking about a relationship with eternity. So I think it just puts everything in perspective, and just makes you realize like it really is so important just to seek first the righteous kingdom of God, because that is the only thing that's going to give you any direction and, you know, really stability in this crazy thing we call life.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Earlewine podcast. And as you can tell, as a family, we definitely like to talk. And so these episodes went a little bit longer than a regular episode. And so we've cut them in half. And so this will be the first half of this conversation. When we come back, we'll close the conversation out. Hope you're enjoying it. Would love to hear from you. You can always email me at Daron@DaronEarlewine.com. And please subscribe to the channel, whatever you're watching or you're listening to. I would love to have you be a part of the growing community of the podcast. And until we talk next time, just remember, God's for you, not against you. He's near you, not far away. And He's created you on purpose and for purpose. We'll see you on the second half of this episode.